Well, hello and welcome back, my bottle language buddies. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the bottle language guy, and welcome to episode 122 of the Jesus Enrique Rosas Show. We're live right now through YouTube, Rumble, and on X. And let's cut to the chase and let's review what the topics we're going to talk about. Maybe there's a bit of this, a bit of that, but especially the main topic is going to be the Super Bowl halftime shows, because we got two of those, and we're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly of both of them. It's going to be interesting. I didn't think that this was going to be such a huge meltdown. We're going to have a body language analysis of these pictures of Candace Owens with her husband, which are interesting as well. We're going to mention this ad that the Epstein victims released during the Super Bowl. And no, apparently they did not pay around $10 million for this, allegedly. I'm going to talk about Lindsey Vonn as well. I need to talk about what happened to her in the Winter Olympics, that unfortunate accident that she had with that gate. I'm going to address that. I think that I never talk about CNN telling Trump that he was right, which is quite interesting, right? We haven't spoken about this. This topic that I did not talk about I think it was on Saturday when I had my previous show. I needed to take yesterday's day off. And in case you're wondering, yes, I still have nightmares about all the stuff that is happening with the Epstein files, or all the things that are popping up. Some of them were trying to make sense of that, but reviewing all that and, having that in my subconscious to process, it has not been easy. But again, I'm not going to complain. We're going to talk about this baby as well, which, by the way, this post has been removed from X for a very good reason. And maybe we're going to talk about this as well, which other topics, and maybe we're going to talk about Nancy Guthrie as well. Remember that the best way, easiest way to support my channel is to like and subscribe wherever you are. As easy as that. I'm checking that everything in my panel is going all right. As easy as that. Like and subscribe and share this topics, there's live streams, and of course my videos with your family and friends. If you want to, every single one of these topics is going to be standalone video over all my channels, and you can find my channels in the description of this video. I classify my channels by topic. So if you want to watch my entire shows, if you want to listen to my entire show, I make sure to make it as listenable as possible. I try to say everything that is on screen for your listening pleasure and your viewing pleasure as well. So you can also find when I remember to upload these shows to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Amazon Podcasts. So without further ado, let's begin with the first topic. I want the first topic to be this one. I want the first topic to be this one. But a second, I'm here. I think that okay, everything is ready. So the Epstein victims released this video over the Super Bowl, and the first thing that people are asking is the obvious. We know that an ad during the Super Bowl runs for anything between $8 to $10 million. So how is it possible that they could afford this? This is interesting. Nobody has been able to answer this question, but I found out that apparently they really did not have how to say this. They did not have to air that during the show, the Super Bowl itself, but they made sure to air it as a PSA before the Super Bowl. So essentially, they managed to get almost to the same audience, and it's it went for much less than that. I'm going to try to make sure that everything is working nice here. So this was the video itself. Let's take a look at this. Wait a second. All right. And make sure that this doesn't trigger any sort of copyright with my AI voice isolation. I don't know if this has a voice, but I'm going to make sure that it doesn't have any triggering or anything. So November 19, the victims, the Epstein files, and you see 3 million files still not released. According to them, they had their mouth kind of shut.
After years of being kept apart, we're standing together.
Standing together.
Because this girl deserves the truth.
Because she deserves the truth.
Because we all deserve the truth.
Okay, stand with us. Tell Attorney General Pam Bondi it's time for the truth. All right. So again, work without exploitation. So the reactions did not wait. And again, I have seen many people with a problem with this very specific problem, and I'm going to read their comments, which I don't know. They make a lot of sense. Matt Walsh, for those claiming that they can't name names because they will be sued or disappear or something could happen to them, they could simply give the names to any of their many and mostly very recent advocates in Congress who could read the names out loud from the floor, insulating themselves and these women from any litigation. But they refuse to do that. Why? That is a very good question. That is a very good question. I'm seeing a lot of really lame explanations as to why these women can't just say the names themselves or give the names to someone in Congress to say on the floor of Congress. But no one has ever attempted to explain why these women only spoke up once Biden left office. That is important. We had 4 years of Biden and none of them said anything. No press conferences, no commercials, none of the theatrics. That the moment Biden leaves and Trump gets in, they're all over the TV. What's the innocent explanation to that? And Elon Musk replied and he said, I will pay for the defense of anyone who speaks the truth about this and is sued for doing so. So again, there is literally no reason why these women can't just name who are the aggressors, who are the perpetrators. Why do they keep doing this? And they said, you remember that I made a video about this. They said back in the day, the past year, that they were going to make their own list. They were going to make their own list, but they were not going to release the list. So what is that about? Cynthia Holt, I have already moved on because all you have to do is open your effing mouths and say the names of the offenders. That's it. I don't want to hear this BS about you getting sued either. The reason for that is they took the money to stay silent with NDAs. That is a fact. So many of them already sued the Epstein estate and already received millions in settlements. If you really cared about justice, you would all create X accounts and start screaming from the rooftops. Elon Musk has already offered to pay all legal expenses. There are no excuses left. So I'll start naming names right now or F off. This is, it's a bit aggressive, but she is right. Oh, she's out of the line. She's right. That line from that TV show. Again, Matt Walsh, I'm all for releasing the files. I am all for releasing the files as well. Again, there was this discussion about beef jerky now. Maybe I will address that at some point. These women could also just name their abusers at any time. Instead, they embark on a months-long publicity campaign which, curiously, didn't start until the exact moment Biden left office. They profess to know the names of child rapists in the most powerful positions in society, yet they won't tell us. They will even take out a Super Bowl ad while claiming to be silenced, even though they are the ones refusing to give us the information they say they have. Oh my God, and I should be talking about Thomas Macy as well, because Thomas Macy, he said that he had the names of 20 perpetrators. And now he just tweeted that he never said that he had the names of 20 perpetrators. He said that he had the name of one. And so that was strange, but I need to get kind of deeper into the Thomas Macy rabbit hole to be able to properly talk about that topic. Maybe tomorrow we can talk about that. Maybe I can just review the tips that I have about Thomas Massey after this show. The Misfit Patriot. Do these women know that at any time they can just tell us? Can anyone give me a reasonable and logical argument why none of these women are naming their accusers? If they were sued by anyone they accuse, each and every one of them would have discovery privileges. Clearly, they're not staying silent because they don't want attention brought on them. They just stood in front of 130 million people and put their faces on camera. Honestly, I'm genuinely curious why they don't just drop names. Thomas Massey and Marjorie Taylor Greene said they would, and they still haven't. Yeah, by the way, Marjorie Taylor Greene said this. I thought about this as well. They may be terrified for their lives and are those of loved ones. The monsters are all elites. But this is what I wouldn't understand. Wouldn't they be terrified if they're literally showing up with their faces out there over and over again? If they were terrified, they would be expecting for, the documents to be released. And that's it. And Matt Walsh just gave them the option. You don't have to say it yourself. You tell your advocate to just name the names in your behalf, and everybody wins. So why hasn't that happened? I don't know. Does that mean they're actually the ones who are actually protecting PDF files? Make it make sense. I wouldn't go as far, but this is like a propaganda machine. This is an interesting take for Pam Bondi. Brian Cates, political columnist. Pam Bondi has been telling people the truth. The problem is, she tells them the truth and they don't believe her. Pam Bondi says, there are active, ongoing criminal cases on the Epstein ring. Grand juries are involved, so I'm limited by the laws on the secrecy grand jury process when it comes to what I can say. And yes, that's something that I found out, that any Epstein file tied to the process of a grand jury, that they are reviewing. That is a kind of a secret reviewing of a case to see that there can be an indictment, and all this review is completely secret of the knowledge of the public. Then obviously you cannot release those documents. That is common sense. But again, social media, we collectively, and I say we because I have said this, maybe not in these terms. You lying biatch. There's no ongoing investigation. There's no grand jury seated in Florida or anywhere else. You're making this up. There would be having leaks to the press by now if there were real investigations. I am not so sure, but there's no way of we can tell, because that is precisely what the secrecy is for, to make sure that the investigation and the prosecution, in case there's one, is not tainted. But what if? Just go with me here for a second. What if Bondi is telling you the truth? What if Bondi will not break the law and violate federal grand conspiracy grand jury confidentiality for anyone, not even Epstein victims? Nothing could be publicly revealed about prosecution of the criminals until the unsealing of the indictments begins. So I know that many people would not like this if Bondi is telling the truth. It can't be helped. The multiple federal grand juries here in Florida will quietly continue their conspiracy investigations. When they are ready, that is important, when they're ready, they will begin unsealing indictments. Until then, Bondi cannot reveal targets or discuss targets or reveal who the targets of the investigations are. And those documents, as far as even if we wanted to, cannot be released. Neither can she release evidence in the cases against them with their names unredacted. Understand the law before you complain about this. But again, I would like to know, what do you think about this in the comments? You know that this sounds like victim blaming or something, but still, I would like to know your opinion. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy. Much love and bliss. And this is because I always make sure to say goodbye in every single one of these sections, because I then upload these sections directly to every single one of my channels. The previous one is going to be to my Body Language Guy channel. I'm going to do it right away. Let's see, what are you saying in the comments? This is all a distraction. I don't know what you mean the halftime show. Yeah, it's at least it's good for the show. It's good for the show itself. It's a show that is good for the show. That is interesting. I want to mention this before we move forward. I want to mention the unfortunate accident of Lindsey Vonn. Let me address some of your comments. But don't naming anyone so they can stay safe. We don't know if they have been treated in the past or even know. But again, yeah, they could release those names by proxy. Why haven't them done so? That is the question. But need to address this. I almost do something. I almost pressed the wrong button and completely nuke the live stream. But here we go. We need to talk about this. And the Winter Olympics, we have this fierce competitor, Lindsey Vonn from the United States. She is a bona fide legend of these games. And she's 41 years old, and she had been retired for 6 years. There's let's say a lot of discussion in here. Some people are saying that what was the need for somebody who had already been a legend, somebody who had already won Olympic gold, to come back to the Olympics at 41 years old, when just to put things in perspective, the oldest that any woman has been winning a gold in this kind of competitions has been 34 years old, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, and the average of the competitors in this competition is around 32, 34 years old. So, yes, okay, we're looking at this. I was looking at this over the weekend. I was already saying, okay, I can understand why people were saying, this doesn't look good. Why is she taking the spot of someone younger who could have done better? And to make things worse, around 1 week before the competition itself, she completely tore her ACL, which is this ligament that basically keeps your knee functioning like a human knee. All right, she completely it was not like okay, she ripped this a bit. No, it was completely torn. So her left knee was basically was a bit complicated to compete. She had let's say, I'm gonna say the very bad luck that during the first seconds of the competition, she got stuck on one of the gates with her arm. That this basically had apparently nothing to do with her knee. And she rolled over and she had a very bad fall. And she had a fracture on her left leg. She is okay. It's thank God she didn't have any spine or neck problems. As far as we know, she's okay. She's gonna recover. And yes, the discussion is around, was this the right thing to do? Was right to just compete, to go out there and, even if you are taking the chance of your life. And one thing that we need to address as well is that there was this pre-qualifications, right? She went through the pre-qualification races and she qualified to be in the race. So it's not like she came, oh yeah, I'm here, I'm a legend, I deserve the spot. No, she went through the qualification phase, and she was third in the qualification phase. I might be wrong with that one, but she qualified to compete. No matter her age, no matter what happened to her knee, she qualified to compete. So she had essentially the right to compete in that event. Now, my first reaction was, okay, but what about the fresh blood, the new generation and stuff? It sounds a bit selfish, right? Somebody taking somebody else's spot. What if you can assume a coach approach to this, a coaching approach to this, and coach, younger women who can have a better shot. By the way, her partner won gold in that competition, so there's that. But then you know that how is it very important to sleep things over, put things in my subconscious and think about this for a little while. That is important. Because let's say that my take evolved as I was thinking about this. And I said, wait a second. I can't be a hypocrite. Now, that's something that I always say. There's so many ways I could be a hypocrite, and I try to catch myself because I remember things that I have said, and I remember things that I have stood for, and I remember things that move me. And I think there are few things in life that move us way more than tropes in cinema. And you would agree with me that there are few tropes that are as moving and inspirational as the trope of, which is like a motif or a theme that repeats, of the guy or girl that comes out of retirement for a last shot at coaching this younger guy or girl. That happens all the time. I remember that the first movie that I saw in those terms, I think was The Rookie. What was the name? The Rookie with Dennis Quaid. I remember that movie. Remember that he had this chance, and when he was younger, and then he had another chance when he was middle-aged. Again, the trope of an older guy coming back to, having the chance, having a shot at that. A Top Gun Maverick is another trope of the old, haggard guy that comes back to coach and do things. He not only flies the thing himself, he also coaches his other jet pilots. Which other movie is in the original Cars? There was a bit of that with Paul Newman's character. The Doug I think it was Doug Hudson. I remember it was the car. He was coming back as well. He was not the protagonist, but it was also the trope, that I'm coming back to coach this. And he was not actually competing, but you get the idea. And this recent Formula One movie with Brad Pitt as well, we got an old guy who has to go, but he has to compete as well. He's coming back for a last race. And, that's something that gives goosebumps. I'm feeling goosebumps right now. And I can't say that I look at those movies and I have those feelings. I see at Lindsey Vonn, and it would be hypocritical of me of saying this is different. She shouldn't be doing this. Then why, when I see in movies, it is so inspirational? So, yeah, the problem is that in sports, we're talking about a zero-sum game. It's not like you can just come and you have this unlimited places limited seats that you can. No. It's that a limited amount of seats, and you have to qualify, and she qualified for that. But I want to see this more of somebody giving that last shot. And I would like to tell you, if I was in her shoes, I would have done the same thing. So yes, I'm telling you, it's quite complicated. That my first reaction could have been, okay, that this is a bit selfish, right? That she could have, but when I put myself in her shoes, I said, no, I would have done the same thing. Let me go for this again, one last time. Completely destroyed knee. It doesn't matter. She had this bionic brace for her knee, and she had the experience to go for it. And as far as I could do some research on her, she has always been super aggressive in competition, which I admire. I mean, being aggressive in sports, being aggressive, going for it. You have, this is like Kobe used to say, that Mamba mind. Not everyone has the Mamba mind. I can think of course, Michael Jordan. I can think of Cristiano Ronaldo. People who are so obsessed with something that doesn't matter. The odds are not in your favor, even if there is a French woman who won silver at 40 years old. So it's not that it wasn't that much of a Hail Mary attempt. It was a solid attempt. So again, I changed my mind about this, and if it was so tragic, this accident, I sincerely hope that she recovers quickly. But I think that Lindsey Vonn represents something that we should strive for. That no matter the age, no matter if you think that it's too late, because that is something that it's pressing down on us all the time. That's something that I have told you so many times. It's never too late. Imagine me telling you so many times at the end of my live streams, in my rants, it's never too late. Go for it. And then criticizing Lindsey Vonn, I am not going to do that. I'm going to say that Lindsey Vonn is a true badass. Yes, she was retired for 6 years. She came back. She went for it. She trained. She did the work. She qualified and she competed. And we have to see that this is the way to go. They have to. It's better to go out in a blaze of glory. But again, I would like to know, what do you think about this in the comments? My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy. Much love and bliss. Yeah, I thought that this story was so amazing in so many ways. Again, I have no qualms. I know how to use that word. AOC doesn't know how to use that word. I have no qualms in saying that. Yeah, my first reaction. Okay, that sounds a bit selfish. But then again, you know that I love movies, and I love going through all these movies and remembering the tropes and realizing, no, I can't say that this is selfish. I think that this is, if you earned the right to compete, and go for it. Go for it. Agree, says Veronica. It's better to take a chance and lose instead of wondering forever what if you'd have tried. Yeah, you will always have more regrets of the shots that you didn't take. Just go for it. You go without asking permission. Go for it. Don't pay attention to anybody. This should be the attitude. This should be the attitude. And everyone ages different. I agree, Oscar Gonzalez. Everyone ages different. And there are like freaks in terms of physical progress out there. I remember this Spanish cyclist, Miguel Indurain. Miguel Indurain, he had essentially, his body was essentially, you remember Lance Armstrong when he had to pump himself with erythropoietin. I don't remember that Lance Armstrong, he had to shot himself with this thing to ramp up the red blood cells in his bloodstream to be able to process more oxygen. Miguel Indurain, his body did that exact thing naturally. So he was this beast. There are these freaks of nature. And the thing is that you have freaks of nature, just as Cristiano Ronaldo, that you also need the mental thing, the Mamba mind. If you have the physicality, if you're a beast and you also have the Mamba mind, you will be unstoppable. You will be literally unstoppable. And that is always wonderful to watch. People who defy everything that we could take for granted. Okay, we thought that this is how people worked. We thought that this is the way people function in the real world. But no, we can break that ceiling. We can break that ceiling. And we need to talk about our main topic. Let's go talk about our main topic. This is going to take a while. Oh, this is going to take a while. This is going to be quite controversial. You're correct, Jesus. I hope Lindsey has zero regrets. I'm sure that she has zero regrets. Zero regrets. And again, that's why I tell this so important. I'm going to give you this tip. Some people use AI to find solutions for stuff. I use my subconscious. And how can you use your subconscious? Is as easy as it's a problem that you want to solve. I want to solve so many things, and in these videos, for example, in these cases that I want to simmer in my head just before going to sleep. Remember to pray. Remember to talk to God. Talk about your day. And after you talk to God, which is the single most important thing that you should do at the end of the day, besides brushing your teeth is important as well. Gum health, okay? Remember to address your subconscious, because it always goes to waste if you don't address your subconscious every single night. And you ask your subconscious, maybe you're learning a language, you talk to your subconscious, you talk to yourself, dear subconscious, I am learning Spanish. Maybe you want to learn Spanish. You talk to your subconscious, you tell it your intention of doing that, or solving a problem, or anything. And I always set it and forget it. And you will realize that this is going to become a second nature, and it's going to be very useful to solve many things in your life. Because you have a machine. We have this machine that we have underutilized. We should be telling our subconscious, it's free. It's free. Just have to assign the command. Right? So you assign the command to your subconscious, you go to sleep, you don't have to do anything else. And I guarantee you will realize solutions to your problems come way easier. And you don't have to pay any guru. You don't have to buy any book. You don't have to get into any course, any, monastery or nothing, none of the sort. Use your own subconscious. That is my tip. Maybe I can give you more details about that. So let's talk about this. Oh my God. I'm about to get into trouble. I'm about to get into trouble, my God. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Let's see. We need to talk about the ugly, no, not the ugly. The good, the bad, and the ugly of the Super Bowl halftime shows, because we got two of them. One, the official one with Bad Bunny and during the game, and the other, the Turning Point USA Super Bowl halftime show. And this is going to be interesting because there's a bit more complex than many people realize. And I want to start with the TP USA one. And one of the things that we need to address is that I understand that this was originally going to be broadcast on X, formerly Twitter, and on Rumble, and on YouTube. And it seems that they had to, or maybe not YouTube, they had to change to YouTube at the last minute. I have no theories about this, but I'm glad that they switched to YouTube, and I'm going to address that in a minute. It's not because I have some kind of favoritism to YouTube, which I could have, but you know that this show is broadcast to Rumble, YouTube, and X. But there's one thing that YouTube does better than Rumble and X. Still does it better than Rumble and X. And this has to do with this. We need to mention one of the most successful streamers nowadays. Even if you don't like her, you have to acknowledge that Candace Owens is a successful live streamer in YouTube, because her main show is on YouTube and her main show is not recorded. She does it live. And Candace Owens was, let's say, having this misleading take about the TPUSA halftime show. The problem with people who have a lot of money they didn't earn is that they tend to have no idea how stuff actually works. That is really bold, coming from someone who married a rich guy. But well, you do you. No, this is not a possible result if you truly had 5.2 million live viewers. And she was baiting, sharing a screenshot which listed 10K views. And I'm going to say that I reached out to her. I just quote tweeted her saying that she is very misleading about this, and she shouldn't, because she knows how live streams work in YouTube. I'm going to explain this. This is very simple. People are saying, how come I saw this and they only had 10K views or 40K views, having so many millions of subscribers? I'm going to explain how live streams are counted on YouTube so people understand what happened with the TPUSA halftime show, and you understand how this works. And my show works. YouTube has two ways of counting views and comments. I'm live streaming right now. I have a counter here, okay, and my counter right now is sitting at 6,000 views. That is the cumulative viewing of people who have entered to my live stream and exited. Right now, concurrent viewers is at almost at almost 1,200. Okay, that is the simultaneous viewers. And in the Turning Point halftime show, they got up to 6 million simultaneous watchers. What do you say? The audience was 6 million people. 6 million people, which is respectable. That was awesome. I think that was great. The live chat that you see on the side, okay, the live chat that you see right here, is maybe you see in this side, right? Okay, of the screen. The live chat is going to be one live chat during the live stream, and then the comments. Live chat and comments are two different things in YouTube. The comments are just going to start after the live stream ends. So during the live streams, all that you can do is to go to the live chat. When the live stream ends and it transforms into video on demand that you can watch whenever you want, then the live chat is closed and the comments are open. So that's why people say, oh, how come this has, 1 million views and has only 10 comments? It's the discrepancy at the moment of the cutoff when the show ends. Candace knows all this because she's a veteran. She's very good at this. And this is another thing that people have said. People have said, oh, maybe, and I think that Candace herself was saying this, that they're using bots to prop up TPUSA's halftime show. And I can vouch for YouTube in this regard, in terms that YouTube has the all-star standard, platinum grade view botting countermeasures, which means that it's extremely hard to inflate your numbers in YouTube. Even if you paid for that, YouTube knows how to spot bots, and it literally will remove that from any analytics, even the live analytics. So, and again, I said that applies for TPUSA, and that also applies for Candace's show, because some people have said that, oh, Candace is using bots for her show. No, this can't go one way. YouTube makes sure that the turning point views are legit, and YouTube makes sure that Candace views are legit. We are being fair, because that is the reality, because that is how YouTube works. I'm gonna try to explain this. I'm trying to explain this so you understand how, once again, Candace is doing this in bad faith. She 100% knows how this works. She knows that there's a cutoff from the views during the live stream and then the views after the live stream. The views after the live stream right now sit at 20 million. But by the way, those 20 million that we see publicly are besides the views that were during the event itself. So again, the only people that can certainly know how many views in total are Turning Point, because they can look at both numbers. We can only watch either the live viewers, like you're watching my live viewers right now, and the views after the show has ended. But only the administrator of the account can see both numbers at the same time. I think that makes it clear. Now you know more about YouTube live streams than the average human being. And now you know how this is absolutely misleading. And now you know that, yeah, if this is fair for Turning Point, it is fair for Candace as well. I want, as I remember Full Metal Jacket, I am hard, but I am fair. Yeah, I am the one. Again, Milo Yiannopoulos, you know that he is trying to prop up Candace in some way, and he was highlighting this as in this is the problem that we were talking about. There's also a delay. This views that you see here is after the show has ended. This likes is from the moment the live stream was. The likes, you can like from the moment the show starts or the, for example, I set up a live stream 2 hours before it starts. You can like from that moment. So that's why you see this changes. Now you understand how this works. And now you understand how these people are acting in absolute bad faith. And Candace Owens also says, note, what they will do now is to spend an offensive amount on YouTube ads overnight to bring their viewership up while we sleep. Is that what Jeremy Boring did when his Razors commercial flopped? When you wake up tomorrow, this video will have north of 50 million views. I think that they don't have to spend ads. Why? Because another thing, again, I have been on YouTube for 6 years now. I will be 6 years in next March. I know how this stuff works. And I know that the recommendation algorithm of YouTube is really good at finding the people who would want to watch you. You know it. You open your homepage on YouTube and you can't avoid just saving for later something or watching something on the spot. That's how YouTube works, and that's why YouTube makes so much money. So again, maybe they could spend on ads. Maybe you could see an ad here. I don't see any problem, by the way, if they have the money and they say that there's a good chance or is a good shot to spend ads. That is not illegal, as far as I know. But I would recommend that it's not necessary. It's not necessary to spend ads. YouTube is gonna take good care of that. Alex Clark, pretty simple. People were watching the Turning Point USA. People were saying that the live chat was slow. With the Turning Point on YouTube, the live chat was too slow. 6 million people watching, and the chat was slowish. But the majority of people are watching that. We're watching that on their TV. So on your TV, it's a bit hard to leave a comment. But yeah, TPUSA halftime show on their TVs live included myself, and they were watching with other people in the room. So no, we weren't blowing up the chat or comments, and when it was finished, we switched back to the Super Bowl. A damn hamster could figure this out. That is, actually what happened. So I wanted to make it clear about the numbers, about the misconceptions, and the misdirection and misinformation and miss everything, Miss Candace Owens and everything. Having said that, I mean, I saw I watched the Turning Point halftime show. It was very well produced, save a couple things that, that I had to mention. Kid Rock's lip syncing is even more egregious than Ashley Simpson and Milli Vanilli. Yeah, this, I don't know. They put it in this huge show. The production was so amazing. You know how our Turning Point spectacles are just something brutal. By the way, was 6 million only on YouTube, because in on Rumble, there wasn't Rumble, and Rumble was like almost 5 million more. And I don't know which other platforms that they were in. So again, I don't know. I'm just talking about YouTube, but this is from Rumble. I don't understand why Kid Rock's lip sync was so bad. I'm going to, I guess I can play this. I hope that I had no copyright takedown. So sorry. Okay. Watch his mouth. Okay, I'm going to try to zoom in. You notice that he was you listen to the tracks playing, and yes, you can go to YouTube and rewatch this. Right? You can go directly to YouTube and rewatch this and notice that the lip sync was wild. Yeah, that was crazy, and some people are complaining, oh, it so happens that this was pre-recorded. I don't really have a problem with this being pre-recorded. I don't think there was the need to have it live. They could have been pre-recorded that and then play it during the Super Bowl. I have no problem with that. I do have a problem with this, like the worst lip sync failure in like ever. And it's a shame because, again, everything was so awesome. The scenario, the pyrotechnics, everything was I mean, I am not much of a fan of Kid Rock, but I think the guy was, the song was solid, and the song transformed in another different thing that we're going to address. And this is the other thing, the only other thing that I'm going to mention of this show before we move on to Bad Bunny. And Sam Weber, the best part of the Kid Rock set is when the actors they hired to pretend to be a string duet clearly had never heard the song before. So when the cello does a norm descension, he randomly decides to go way up and stay there. The violinist is noodling around during melodic runs. So I was watching this, and I certainly thought that something was off. And if you play any sort of instrument, especially cello and violin, and I know that I'm not that good at cello, but I have played this mofo enough to understand what I'm seeing, and I have watched enough of music to understand what I'm seeing. And I'm gonna play a fraction of this, so you understand this is not it. I want to think, maybe you saw it, maybe you can watch it, a longer clip. I'm not going to play the whole clip. But yeah, there's a very disturbing something that you're listening to, and what is happening in front of your eyes having nothing to do one thing with one another. And I said, okay, I hope that there's some kind of problem with the audio and the video. And then it was like a Kid Rock thing. But again, minimal technical details. This is, understand this is the first time that they do this thing. This should have been, let's say, corrected on time, pre-recorded, make sure that it is perfect, and then go for it. Again, because you have a beautiful setting, you have a beautiful studio, you have a beautiful everything, but that was like bringing yourself completely out of that. This was interesting because people are also criticizing Kid Rock for opening with a 1999 hit called Bawi Daba, in which he talks about topless dancers and stuff. But this was kind of on purpose because his act was in 3 parts. And that 3 parts ended from being that kind of debauchery from his 1999 era and directly into the a religious addition that he added to the last song. There is a book that is sitting in your house somewhere that could use some dusting off. There is a man that died for all our sins hanging out of the cross. You can give your life to Jesus and he'll give you a second chance till you can't. So again, it was like Kid Rock was trying to represent that we have all been crazy at some point of our lives. We have always been done crazy stuff, insane stuff, maybe illegal stuff. Okay, so from that point and going to God and coming to the grace of Jesus, I think that was a nice arc. I was a nice message. So again, it was a nice message. Maybe they are going to do that next year as well. Maybe they can make sure that they make the lip sync work this time. But again, let's move on to the other topic that not the other topic, the other side of the coin, which was the actual Super Bowl show. And of this, I'm sure that I cannot play anything. But one thing that I'm going to address the elephant in the room. Metallica could have been better. Don't tease me with a good time. You know that that's not going to happen anytime soon. At least not in this universe. Maybe we can do that with AI or something. But again, let's talk about Bad Bunny. I need to say a couple of things to let's say clarify any misconceptions about this. Because this is the single most important thing that we need to know about Bad Bunny. Is that if you look for his lyrics, if you go straight for his lyrics of his albums, you're going to be horrified. There's absolutely no way around that. It doesn't matter how open-minded you are. If you look for his lyrics, you will be 100% horrified. I will try to talk about some topics of his lyrics in here. I don't want to get into trouble. I don't want to make this too much of a crass show. But yeah, the lyrics are really can be crass and raw. It's he plays a lot of Latin rhythms and genres in his songs and his albums. But yes, we need to be really clear about this. Any kid, any teen from anywhere in the world has absolutely zero business listening to this guy's music. Even if you know the joke, this is gonna be a recurring joke. Even if his Spanish cannot be understood, even by Spanish speakers. I mean, Spanish is my mother tongue. I'm familiarized with Spanish from Mexico, from Spain, from Argentina, from Colombia, from Peru. I can mock so many accents from many areas. Even the Chilean. Chile is the final boss of Spanish. If you can understand Spanish from Chile, you can understand Chilean. You basically master Spanish, including Puerto Rico. I also know the Puerto Rico accent. You remember that I analyzed Meghan Markle speaking at some point, and she said, "Oh yeah, I learned when I work in Argentina, something like that." But I noticed that her accent, Meghan Markle's accent, was not from Argentina, was from Puerto Rico. Indeed, it was interesting, but her accent is more Puerto Rican than Argentinian. Having said that, you can find Venezuelans, Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, Chileans, Argentinians who listen to Bad Bunny and don't understand a damn thing. In fact, I would say that I understand around 40% of the words that he says, but from those 40% of words, I understand around the meaning of around 10%. So yes, a lot gets lost in translation. If you go directly to the lyrics, again, you will be horrified. But the point still stands. No kid or teen should be listening to Bad Bunny, but the reality is, Super Bowl or not, kids and teens are listening to this guy's music worldwide. And rest assured, they are going to look for the lyrics and they're going to look for what do his lyrics mean. That is, with or without Super Bowl halftime show. Did we get that right? You can blame TikTok. You can blame that parents just give kids phones nowadays and smartphones, and they can browse the internet. TikTok, you will find all of Bad Bunny's songs unfiltered, women shaking their hips, whatever. But that is like a systemic problem, we could say, worldwide. And the Super Bowl halftime show is just a symptom of a greater problem. I want to really frame this way, not frame this way, but establish how are we going to address this? Because people are saying, oh, they are doing this. Kids are watching, are going to be, how to say this, influenced by Bad Bunny. And the trick is then in this show, in that he made sure to sing all the clean parts of his songs, even of the more the songs about debauchery. He included more than a couple songs about debauchery, and he made sure to mute or not sing the parts that, well, let's say that one of the things that I immediately noticed is that he muted something that, let's say that about rims, and I'm not talking about cars, okay? I'm just gonna leave it at that. We're gonna hit something about rims, and I'm not talking about cars. So yes, that is the level that we're talking about. So he being in the Super Bowl is because he's worldwide famous. I mean, you can say this is a psyop, but he's not that famous. All those streams are fake, but something that you simply can't fake is that he fills stadiums everywhere, no matter what. And he does that. It's like you can say Taylor Swift is a product of an industry. She's a product. Her songs are a product, and you would be right. Does the product make a lot of money? Yes. Is she a product, a designed product to appeal to the masses? Yes. Is Bad Bunny a product? Yes. Is that a problem? Yes. Well, especially when you take a close look at Bad Bunny's lyrics. But my point, I make all this intro to this, is because the spectacle itself of the Super Bowl was, I expected it to be way more woke and satanic. So it was quite lame in terms of, it's not that edgy or nothing. It was not woke and satanic. In fact, it was not woke or satanic at all. So many people are mentioning one part of this clip, and I know that you want me to address this immediately. Let me see if I can jump to that. I don't want to get into trouble because you know that you play this, if only play this the wrong way, I will get this. People are playing this. Two guys grinding into each other. Oh, they are all this gay stuff. This is right. Okay, there's no way around this. There's indeed two dudes grinding into each other. They could have been an ad for Grindr, by the way. But we need to kind of put this into perspective because people are repeating this over and over again. And this was a shot that lasted. The shot lasts 2 seconds, and only 1 second you can spot these guys going at it. And this is 1 second over 13 minutes of a halftime show, or at least what he said. Okay? So there was 1 second, a split second. So you might be saying, okay, Jesus, but they're using this subliminal suggestion. They're using this messaging. They're using this to, I don't know, inflict this into kids. But at the same time, you could say that, okay, this was some kind of messaging that they were using. But simultaneously, they used this message of this couple. Where's the couple? Where's the couple that was getting married? A couple was getting married. This couple was actually getting married. These women, for example, were no different than some regular cheerleaders. There was this couple that was getting married. The couple, what is the couple, please? I want to know the couple. Hey God, where's the couple? Okay, here's the couple. We can see an actual couple. There's an actual couple getting married in the halftime show. That is my understanding. You may say that, okay, let's say that this is fake. Oh, that is not an actual couple, Jesus. You fell for it. You fell for the messaging and all the stuff. Okay, let's say it's a fake marriage. But it's a marriage. Still, a marriage between a man and a woman? I mean, what? I'm gonna play this. I can't really play this, but they really did a wedding between a man and a woman, and they had other shots of they cutting the cake and rejoicing and kissing. So, okay, you had 1 second of two dudes grinding to each other, 1 second, and you had several seconds and the motive of a man and a woman getting married. I mean, you have to kind of take what you can take from the stuff, right? And I have to say, again, I am not a fan of Lady Gaga, but I have to be fair at the same time because I cannot be a hypocrite. I cannot be a hypocrite because back in the day, I remember the Grammys, which I don't like the Grammys either way, but I remember when Metallica was a couple of years ago, they went to the Grammys and they performed live Moth into Flame with Lady Gaga, and that was chef's kiss. That was so awesome. So Lady Gaga's demonic, she's satanic. Okay, yeah, it's like my point. I'm addressing this show itself. Like Bad Bunny could have this horrific lyrics that are sexually deviant, yes, but he did not sing anything of that for the show. And yeah, Lady Gaga could have all the, the satanic stuff that she pushes everywhere, but this section musically was awesome. I'm gonna say that this is musically. You have to watch this. If you haven't watched this, you have to give it a try. Give it a try. And there's another thing that I need to say. Again, I'm trying to separate, be very clear, that I do not condone anyone under 18 years old, I would say under 21 years old, listening to Bad Bunny's music, because they're going to find out about the lyrics, and that is not something that a kid or a teen can say. But for what we could expect from the show, this was pretty much okay, I guess. So, and there's another thing that I need to say about the show. And there's an actual guy that let's say I wouldn't say that I used to be a fan of him. That is the couple dancing, happy. Okay, maybe they're fake. Maybe they're fake. We don't know. But there's the couple dancing, and I need to address this. Apparently, this kid. Bad Bunny gave his Grammy to this kid, and I don't know if the kid was involved in some kind of ICE raid. I don't know if this is true. I have not had any confirmation about this. Take this with a grain of salt. But him giving his Grammy to this kid was a wholesome moment if he really gave that Grammy away. But I need to talk about this. This is important. We need to talk about the man, the myth, the legend, Ricky Martin. Because I know that you are watching this show, you're watching this video. Whenever you're watching this, I know that you at some point, you heard, you listened to La Vida Loca. Don't say you didn't. You can, me? What? Me? La Vida Loca? No. You remember, right? You did. You know you did. You can't say you did. And let's be clear. And you even try to move to you did. You know you did. Ricky Martin is a legend. And I have lost track of what he has been doing lately. I used to be a huge fan of Ricky Martin. And yeah, I'm not gay. So there's that. But the guy was basically, this is as simple as this. He apparently was never as big as he should have been to be a Super Bowl halftime show. Even Shakira, I'm going to mention somebody who mentioned this. If Ricky Martin or Shakira couldn't be as big enough to lead a halftime show. Well, Bad Bunny, it's like Ricky Martin walked so Bad Bunny could fly. So this was a nice touch. I mean, Ricky Martin has opened the doors for so many artists, and he has made so great music. I couldn't skip this. I couldn't make this review without addressing the guy, and it was a really nice touch. I have to say this from Bad Bunny to include Ricky Martin in this, because yeah, this guy is a living legend. He's a living legend. The song that he sings with Maluma. I forgot the name of that song. Well, look for the Ricky Martin Maluma song. That song is also amazing. So Ricky Martin sings. There was this. People were offended that they were with this telephone. No, not phone. The electric poles or whatever. And then this ends, and then begins the gaslighting with the stuff. But people are saying, why all these flags? I don't see the United States flags anywhere. I saw that online. And yeah, the United States flags was, and very prominently, right up front. And right next was Puerto Rico's flag, and then all the other flags from the countries from America, the continent. And some people are saying that, oh, he did not mention the United States. He began mentioning all these countries. I cannot play the clip. He was mentioning all the countries here. Okay, with this, the only thing more powerful than hate is love. He was mentioning all the countries. You can see the United States flags right behind him. You cannot unsee that. And he does mention the United States. And he mentions Canada as well. So This is a thing. Again, you look for the lyrics. You have been warned. I think the spectacle was nice. There was no... Okay, there was 1 second of guys grinding. There was a lot of women twerking, but that is basically... That is taken for granted nowadays. No, Bad Bunny is not an artist that kids and teens should be listening to. The inclusion of Ricky Martin was great. It was nice. It was great. The prominent man and woman wedding was a nice surprise, and the mentioning of every single country in America, as in we are all part of America. This is the part that I disagree with people like Matt Walsh. You know that I agree with Matt Walsh with some of the stuff. But he said that this halftime show was anti-American. And some people might argue that since it was in Spanish, then it shouldn't have been that way. And they might have a point. There in the United States, you're with the sport that is as American as you can imagine. This basically one of the most American things, football. And I have said that I find it baffling that people that call themselves Americans, so many people that call themselves Americans and are American citizens, do not speak English. So yeah, that is a bit odd, having a halftime show in a language that is not English. Even if even us Spanish speakers can't understand a word that he says. We go, oh, let me check the lyrics online. Oh my God. So yes, many people have many takes about this. But the collective meltdown that people are having over this, I think this could have been way worse. This had the potential to be way worse. It could have been more woke, more satanic, more political, more in every single way. And we have to be, if we take a look at the 13 and a half minutes, it was okay, I guess. I mean, I was ready to destroy it. I was ready to, when I watched this, okay, that was, okay, you convinced me. So it's important to put this in perspective. I can understand that you can disagree with a lot of stuff. You can disagree that it wasn't Spanish. That is a valid point. You can totally disagree that how come Bad Bunny is so famous. That is the music industry. That's how it works. Best you can do is remember, do not give smartphones to your kids and teens. Nokia 3310, the Nokia. Dumb phone. Make sure that they are not on social media, second one, and make sure that you spend with your kids and teens as much time as possible and educate them into, well, real music, real shows, the beauty of the real arts. That is the single most important thing. You're not going to give the responsibility to the music industry because you know that they are demons. You know that the music industry is worse than Hollywood. So there's that. So again, that is our responsibility as parents. That is the single most important thing. This was okay, surprisingly not woke and satanic. So I think that is a great silver lining. Together we are America. He was holding a ball that you can see very clearly, the United States flag in the background. Together we are America. Yeah, it was a bit confusing. It was confusing. It was interesting in many ways. There's a joke going around Spanish language internet. Americans are mad Bad Bunny is singing in Spanish at the Super Bowl and they can't understand him, but neither can we. And that's another thing. I don't know how people can be upset about, oh, have you seen Bad Bunny's singing in Spanish? Nobody understands what he's saying. At the same time, they're complaining about the lyrics. Oh, pick a lane. You don't understand a word that he's saying and you're complaining about the lyrics? How can you complain about the lyrics if you don't understand what he's saying? But we have to be careful because people are looking nowadays a reason to get upset, a reason to be triggered. And we need to regulate that. Yeah, there are things happening in the world. Yeah, there's propaganda, there's programming, and we need to protect our kids and teens from all that. So this is the kind of examples that we can put things into perspective and realize, okay, I can take this and I can leave this out. And that is when we really can have actual conversations and analyze and see things for what they really are. But I would like to know, what do you think about this in the comments? My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Body Language Guy. Much love and bliss. I mean, this was a really interesting section because I am a huge fan of music. I love to listen every genre of music, almost every genre of music, even reggaeton. You might be surprised, but I had my reggaeton phase. I had my Ricky Martin phase. I like some songs of Bad Bunny. Baile Inolvidable. He sang Baile Inolvidable. Baile Inolvidable is a great song. I love that one. I don't know what to tell you. Sometimes it's so easy to say, let's jump into the screaming bandwagon. And that is not the idea because you become essentially blind. And that is something that we have mocked Democrats and liberals constantly because they act like a herd, like they don't have critical thinking. If I want to talk about critical thinking with you, we need to address things for what they are. And if something has mixed signals, then let's try to weight those mixed signals to see how can we make more sense of them. And ultimately, I think the message of the flags was nice. I don't think it was anti-American at all. I say that sometimes I disagree. Matt Walsh, Matt Walsh is like a cannonball. That guy can have really great takes about many stuff, and he has solid takes. But saying that this was anti-American, that is the thing that I say. Matt, it's missing the point. Is missing the point. Jesus, what happened? What happened? What happened? CW, I see the bad signal. What's going on? See what's going on. Oh yes, I thought that something was happening in the timeline. Did something happen? Only just in. King Charles made a statement. All right, King Charles made a statement. I also see Ghislaine Maxwell says she will clear Trump's name of any wrongdoing as it pertains to Epstein if Trump grants her clemency. All right. Okay, let me see. Let me see what King Charles said. I don't see anything about King Charles. Maybe. Oh. Prince William issued a statement. King Charles made a new statement. Andrew. All right, let me see. Okay, breaking. Chris Ship. Let me see. Save this. So you can see this here on the screen. So it's better for everybody to watch this. Chris Ship, breaking. Words from Buckingham Palace on Epstein and Andrew. Spokesperson. The king has made clear in words and through unprecedented actions his profound concern at allegations which continue to come to light in respect of Mr. Mountbatten Windsor's conduct. While the specific claims in question are for Mr. Mountbatten Windsor to address, if we are approached by Thames Valley Police, we stand ready to support them as you would expect. As was previously stated, Their Majesties' thoughts and sympathies have been and remains with the victims of any and all forms of abuse. And the Prince and Princess of Wales made a statement earlier. Let me see. Well. Let me check just in case. I guess that they share that on their. Did they share that on their account? I don't see it. Let me see. I'm a bit lost. I don't see anything from. Okay, a very unusual statement from the palace to comment on the Epstein scandal. As it happens, it's a more modern, honest approach. Okay, here. Okay. Got it. Let me save this to put that on screen. Yes, this one. Let me see, just in case. Okay. William and Catherine deeply concerned over Epstein revelations. Okay, this is unprecedented. The Prince and Princess of Wales have been deeply concerned by the latest round of revelations about Jeffrey Epstein, a Kensington Palace spokesperson has said. In their first public statement on the issue, a royal spokesperson said Prince William and Princess Catherine were focused on the victims in light of new information contained in documents related to the late sex offender released in the U.S. Kensington Palace spokesperson said, I can confirm The prince and princess have been deeply concerned by the continuing revelations. Their thoughts remain focused on the victims. Yeah. See if there's anything here that I could use. This is what I got right now. This is what I got right now, just in case. Let me check a bit. Put the comments in here as I check. In real time, that is the thing to having a live show. Again, the other Ghislaine Maxwell as well invoked her constitutional right to silence this morning before James Comer at the House Oversight Committee. Here's a statement I gave to the committee explaining why. Oh, this is a bit more complex. I think that we need somebody to break down this for us. Statement given to media in Saudi Arabia. What? What is going on? Looking for it. Looking for it right now. Oh yeah, I saw it. So you see basically it. Okay, this is, I got it. I hadn't said this. We need a better form of communication. This one from Kate Mansi, breaking. A Kensington Palace spokesman told journalists in Riyadh, "I can confirm that the Prince and Princess of Wales have been deeply concerned by the continuing revelations. Their thoughts remain focused on the victims. It comes before William's visit to Saudi Arabia." That is interesting that William is going to Saudi Arabia as well. You know that the Middle East is all the rage these days. What he's in Saudi Arabia right now. So is he in Saudi Arabia right now? My God, I haven't been. I have to be more connected. I need some kind of AI assistant. Oh yeah, as Prince William is already in Saudi Arabia. Saudi Crown Prince, he's with the Crown Prince. Oh my God, nice photo. Nice picture. I'm gonna share this picture with you because why not? Maybe I will record this as a nice picture. Oh my God, people are going to, so many people are gonna be up in arms over this. Let me see what else. They're already hanging out. Very nice. Very nice. You see. See, there's another picture that I want to share with you. It was not on schedule, but again, I maybe I can talk about this. Who is this? Prince William meeting with the Deputy Governor of Riyadh, Prince Mohammed bin Abdulrahman bin Abdulaziz, and His Majesty's Ambassador Stephen Hitchen. Nice. Britain's Prince of Wales. Yeah, it was like a couple hours ago. What time is it in Saudi Arabia right now? It should be around. Yeah, it's. I think it's past 9. If I'm not mistaken. This one as well. Britain's Prince of Wales, Prince William, has arrived in Riyadh for a 3-day visit. Interesting. reading your comments as well, trying to catch up. I would think two princes would stand closer together. Well, I don't know. I think that is as close as they can stand. Nice picture. Nice picture. Let me see which other. William's looking sharp. William's looking really sharp. See another picture here for your viewing pleasure. I know that so many of you are fans of the royal family, especially fans of William and Catherine, and happy to bring you William. It's past. It's just a bit past. Also 8.5. Thank you, Lee of Monaco. William should fix his own country. Oh my God, we're one step at a time. I don't want to run my mouth. Is that an expression? Yeah, I don't want to run my mouth, and this matters. William should. William should fix his country. Oh my God, I have high hopes in William, but the problem is I don't want to be indiscreet. That is a word? I don't know how to say that. Indiscreet. Yeah, indiscreet. How to say that? Indiscreet. The thing I like about William is he doesn't whine about his hair like the other the royal family. Yeah, he can't. He doesn't have that power yet. What do you think when he becomes king? I mean, I have some thoughts, but the thoughts that I have, I don't know how to say this. No. I don't want to get into trouble. I don't want to get into trouble. I don't want to get into trouble. No. I'm gonna tell you what. Maybe not tell you, but this is a meme that I use for these moments. This is a meme that I use for these moments. I'm gonna show you. This is me talking about. I prefer really not to speak. If I speak, big trouble. And I don't want to be in big trouble. Yeah, that's me right now. Zip. No, better not. Let's hope that things move at its own pace. Let me see which other topics that we have here, because I'm feeling that my voice is not that well. Oh, I could talk about something. I could talk about something. We talk about this. It was another topic. There's this body language analysis. I mean, oh my God. We need to do a body language analysis. You have waited for a body language analysis for some time. You have waited for a body language analysis for some time. And it is your turn. The time has come. Let me check my timeline for one last time. And big shout out to Gary Melton of Paramount Tactical, by the way. Gary, we need to make a show. We need to do a show, Gary. Make sure that you follow. I'm pretty sure that you already follow Gary on his Paramount Tactical YouTube channel. And thank you, J.E., for the super chat. Thank you, J.E. Great job on picking up live breaking news on the fly. Well done. Yeah, I tried to do my best. Thank you for sending me those tips, because I keeping an eye on your comments and trying to do my best bringing you. Well, let's talk about this, because I was wondering, what was this about? Because Gary Melton from Paramount Tactical shared these screenshots, and I thought at first that this was AI. You know that this nowadays we have this problem, but we don't know what is real and what is not. And lo and behold, we have an image of Candace Owens. I don't know how long ago was this taken? Okay, we can guess that was few years ago. I really have no idea. And this apparently is her husband. Okay, so I saw this, and I don't know if you remember when we were checking, the Epstein files, that we stumbled upon a studio that was all red, that the walls were red, and there was a jade chessboard, and had this ominous feeling. Had the exact same feeling when I saw this. It was my first, my knee-jerk reaction watching this. I mean, who can be comfortable in a setting like this? Or maybe there's a possibility, a bit remote, but this is a possibility that this is not part of their house. They are pulling like a kind of a Meghan Markle, that she's doing something that is not in her house, or this is not a studio, this is someone else's house. But always when you're doing this interviews and you have these character photos that we're going to analyze right now, usually you do it at people's homes, so you can take a picture in their natural habitat. That is the idea. And besides the shocking red that really was like a punch in the gut, okay, that is one thing, I need to talk about. First thing that I'm going to say is composition. Only composition. Composition is very good. It's almost flawless. We have two literal bodies. One is in the area of less attention. Candace is in the area of more attention. You know that you had a format. The upper right corner, this area right here, is the one that has the most, that commands the most attention when you're looking at any sort of, you're looking at a photograph, you're looking at a painting, you're looking at anything. The upper right corner naturally is going to have more attention. It's like you have my headshot. So this area where my YouTube plays are, that is the area of more attention. I put them for that reason. Your attention naturally is brought to that. I try to stabilize the frame with other things. That's why I try to have kind of symmetry in my my frame. It was very important, that blue light that I have on my side. So that's how you make up things. Now, he is like pulling, like he's kind of pulling her. But the problem that we see when we go beyond just composition and entering in the realm of actual body language is that she's got no business to do with him. She's got no business to do with him. There's absolutely no connection between them. She is standing next to a countertop. He is sitting on a sofa. They are separated by, I would say, 3 bodies. It's like if you measure the width of this man, you can see that there are like a 3 body separation between them. There's something that also it's important. There's no synchronization between them whatsoever, between their body language. Nothing, no anchor, no similar anchor as in you. So there's one. I'm lying. There's one. There's her left hand is similar to his left hand. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to look for anchors between both poses to see something that I don't know, connects them in some way. But no, they did this on purpose, I guess. Only one of them exuding confidence. We are not talking about Michelle Obama, Veronica. We're not talking about Michelle Obama, but we could. But again, I see that they wanted to go for the, the independent woman. Even if Candace Owens, I think that she wrote a trad wife book, right? Just make him a sandwich or something like that. So she has this kind of conflict. She wants to portray herself, it's my understanding, as a trad wife. But this is as far as a trad wife that you can be. Because, that there's this axis of the body. We have 3 main axes of the body to determine attention. Okay, they're also called orders. This axis, the most important, is the axis that goes from our chest forward. Okay, it's like I do this. You can imagine that it's like an arrow right in front of your chest. That is an axis that basically portrays your attention, where your attention really goes. If you see 2 people talking to each other and you see that their arrows are pointing at each other, then you know that they are really connected. Sometimes you see 2 people talking and one of them is turned to one side. Okay? But of course, there are also differences between the genders. If you see 2 men talking, usually you can see that they are going to be both of them with the axis open away. It's something that comes from the let's say the tradition that we were always talking and exploring the horizon just in case there was something to hunt or something like that. But in here, I don't see any of those axes. The second axis is going to be the head. In all cases, both heads are looking at the camera. There's no connection whatsoever between them. And the third axis is made by the average direction of the feet, in which there's not much to say here. In all cases, he is sitting with the European leg cross. And this could look a bit effeminate. Why? Well, because essentially you need to have very slender and slim legs to do this, and basically make sure that your crown jewels are not crushed. As for me, I cannot sit like this. I need to sit like the American leg cross, in which there's no one knee over the other, like in this, the European leg cross, but the ankle of one leg rests on the knee of the other. So you're picturing that in your mind. Again, maybe I can look for an example, but you understand. If you're really masculine, if you have a lot of aura, if you exude masculinity, you can get away with an European leg cross. And if you have the slim legs, which I don't have, I have football player legs. And but then it's my question: this dude, do you think he exudes masculinity so he can get away with an European leg cross? No, he looks like a pretty boy. He is borderline. He looks like a twink. All right. And what is going on with Candace? That she's not only almost, it's giving him, it's turning her back to him. There's absolutely no connection. That hand on her pocket looks really manly. I don't know. This reminds me of Michelle Obama. Indeed, so many of you in the comments are making jokes about me. How do I sit? I sit like Donald Trump, with my feet planted firmly on the floor. That is the way to go. That's always my advice. If you're a man and you don't know how to sit, and you want to, how do I sit? What is the surefire? What is the never misses? What is the cheat code of sitting? Sit down with your feet planted on the ground and do not move them. Leave them right there and learn how to be like that for hours. Be a man. That's what you should do. And never put your hands in your pockets. Remember that. So, yep, I give you I gave you the most important tip for how men should sit. So again, this is extremely manly energy, dominant energy from Candace. In fact, she is, besides the this whatever is this looks like something that Epstein would have at his house, one of his houses. She is the highest contrast element. So she's not only in the most important area of the composition, her face is in the most attention commanding area of the composition, but her white suit is basically the highest contrast thing in the in all the format. So yes, it's bringing all the attention to her. She is the single most important thing here, and the man is relegated to whatever. This is another shot, and you can see that here they had this professional lighting, this soft boxes here. This definitely looks like something that Epstein would have at one of his layers. This look at that. What happened to this guy? Oh my God, this is even worse. You remember that he was a bit confident with this pose. European leg cross, a bit of confidence there, but this man, he absolutely looks like, that body language, that facial expression is when he's sitting at the chair, main bedroom or hotel room has a chair, the spectator's chair. He's got the body language. He's got the body language. And well, Candace posture, and this posing was really nice. I have to say, Candace posing this way was very casual. She looked nice in this picture. I'm not gonna lie, she looked nice. Much better posing than in the other. This was more masculine energy. And again, maybe they were relaxed, and this is, the lighting is way more ominous. Way more ominous. She is the boss. Maybe he likes to watch. Oh my God. Sports. Of course, we're talking about sports. Maybe he likes to watch. Yeah, sports. I don't want to get into trouble too soon. I don't want to get into trouble. He's like a pouting kid in detention, and she is the principal. I got caught again. But again, this was my take on this crazy and ominous and maybe dark body language. But I would love to know what you think about this in the comments. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy. Much love and bliss. That was an interesting one. Who doesn't like to watch? Oh my God. Hurricane Live. What is that? Let me see. Wait a second. Let me check my timeline again, just in case. How many hours are we? We're a quarter of an hour shy of this. Okay, I'm going to go all out controversial. I couldn't talk about Prince William. I would say that I love Prince William, but that would sound weird. I think that the guy is solid. I think that the guy is legit. I think the Prince William is legit. I think that's what I want to say. I think that Prince William is legit. But I have my certain doubts as if he will be the one to, fix the UK. Jesus, please shut up now. You have time. You have the opportunity to shut up now. Please do not continue. Do not continue. Do not. My attorneys must be, oh no, Jesus, do not say it. Do not say it. Wait a second. Okay, we need to address this. That's another topic that I needed to talk about. I needed to talk about this topic, and by the way, this post has been deleted from X, or formerly Twitter, for reasons. You will not see it anymore. You will see a lot of reactions, so you will see even my own reply, my quote tweet to this, which, well, what was this post about? This was this Sarah Rose Siskind, I guess, that is the pronunciation, Siskind. Also, I love how our daycare, this is going to be about daycare, sends me photos of Levi's activities like social development and creative arts, and they're all just photos of him lying down. And I say, yeah, wait a second, what? Daycare, and how old is this kid? And I blur his face for, privacy reasons. I think that is not necessary. She posted that never post your kids to the world. Do not post your kids or babies and pictures to the world. Please don't do it. It's a bad idea. It's always a bad idea. Do not do it. But again, she posted this, and people immediately, me included, jumped to the comments to say, you know what? This kid can't be more than 6 months old. And a kid at 6 months has no business whatsoever in a daycare. And again, I'm going to get a lot of flack over this, but I'm going to say it anyway, and I've said this many other times. This only means, this can only be translated, this can only point in the direction that the man involved in this, the father, has the skill issue. I mean, no, not any skill issue, no, the skill issue. And how is that, you might be asking? Well, it's as simple as that. Mother should be with her baby for, let's say until way past the toddler age. And yes, this is going to be a controversial take that should not be a controversial take, because babies and toddlers need their moms. I'm going to say that again. Babies and toddlers need their mothers. It's so important. And we were talking about Catherine, Princess of Wales, a few minutes ago. You know how she has this initiative of the Early Years Foundation. And yes, the early years, we're talking about years, people. We're talking about 4 or 5 years as a minimum, because a baby and toddlers are in an age they are forming the most important emotional scaffolding that will serve as, sanity for the rest of their lives. You don't want that in the hands of strangers, no matter how good reputation has a daycare. Oh, Jesus, but in these days, women have to work because houses cannot thrive, cannot exist with a single source of income. Which brings us to my point. Skill issue. On the man. The man has to provide for everything that is needed. The man has to provide for everything that his wife needs. The man has to provide for everything that the baby needs, or the babies needs, or all sons or daughters need. I myself was brainwashed since I had reason into this. Oh yeah, this 50-50 and no, that is nonsense. That is nonsense. You're watching this. This might sound crazy to you. It would mean that, the same as I was brainwashed into believing that this has to be there has to be a team sport. Yeah, it has to be a team sport, but men and women have let's say, different responsibilities in terms of what it comes to our baby. What is the main skill issue of men nowadays? That they have to provide for everything in the household. Everything. You might be upset. You might be yelling to me in the comments. I'm going to tell you, I will still be right and you will be wrong. So first, the skill issue of the man is not earning enough money. And we are living in the wealthiest era of humanity, in which anybody with an internet connection can have at least a side hustle. And if you think that you can't have what it takes, you can learn everything on YouTube. You can download 20 videos about anything to make money. You just grind it out, go for it. It's no excuse nowadays. Skill issue. Have no other way to call it. Again, I'm going to be honest. I drank the Kool-Aid. I drank the Kool-Aid myself. I had to deprogram myself from that toxic programming long ago. And was painful. I don't want people to go through that deprogramming. And I want people to know the truth. And the second skill issue from the man is that you might be saying, oh, but women want her career and stuff and such and such and such. They want their job. They miss their job. They want to feel useful. I can't imagine something more important of raising the future generation. And people have not realized, we have been brainwashed into thinking that, yeah, those years, babies don't think. They only do poo-poo and whatever. They're not going to remember any of this. And you will be wrong. Again, they do remember. And they are hurt by this. Again, you can be crying, you can be smashing the keyboard, you can be insulting me in the comments. Go ahead. I will be right. And you or your man, if you're a man and you're complaining, still skill issue in you. And if your husband complains about this, skill issue as well. I'm not going to apologize for that. Because, yes, this is something that every man nowadays has two options. You either, option one, find a woman who can understand this principle and be glad about that. Because again, I talk about online jobs, okay? And not only the man can have an online job, an online side hustle, something to make more money, or maybe the woman, the wife, can also have an online side hustle or work from home. It is entirely possible. There's so many stuff out there that men and women can work online in so many ways. Yeah, why not? So a woman could be at home taking care of her baby, which is so important, which is, I don't know how we have been gaslighted into thinking that motherhood is, oh no, that is boring. Oh no, that is inconsequential. It's better to be a girl boss for 8 hours a day. No. Because in that case, if you want to be a girl boss, do not have kids in the first place. You want to be a girl boss? Fair enough. Do not have kids. And you can call me whatever you want. I will still be right. So that is the second skill issue of the man. Okay, you have to either search for and pick a woman who understands this, or let's say you can make her understand that, you know what, you don't have to work. I want you want women who are intelligent, you want women who are smart, you want women who are compassionate, because you want all that smarts, all that intelligence, all that for her to nurture the baby and the toddler. That is the idea. You look for a woman. My advice for a man: you look for a woman who is smart, who is intelligent, who is resourceful, who would like to be a mother, and she will have no problem. No, she will want to take care of the baby. Because the other option is convincing her, persuading her, which is also a possibility. It has happened. You know that the girl bossing thing has been basically a virus. And I have never understood. And you may be asking, by the way, you might be asking the question that I know that you're going to ask in the comments. But Jesus, what if the man goes away and so then the woman has nothing? The woman has no career, has nothing at all, nothing of the sort. I am giving you the solution. The same that your husband has a skill issue for it and can make up for that skill issue by learning something on YouTube and learning how to make money online, which is 100% possible. The same way the wife can do that. So even if your husband leaves you, he leaves with a strip dancer or something, you will have developed something that you can do at home while you tend to your children. You win at the end. The same Excel tables that you're going to fill at your girl bossing 9 to 5, the same thing, the same effort, you can put it in something online. There's no way around this. But the single most important thing is that women shouldn't have to. I'm going to repeat that again. Women shouldn't have to. It's the man who has to provide for everything needed in the household. Everything the wife needs, everything kids need, everything they would need to thrive as a family. It's on the man. And this should not be happening. And this is horrific. This is terrible. Granted, you're going to have any sorts of situations in which this can be done. You know that this is ideal. You know that you would want to be a stay-at-home mother, but the circumstances, maybe you're going through a rough spot in your economy, maybe the finances from one month to the other, there are exceptions to the rule. But you should not guide your life by exceptions to the rule. You should know the fundamentals of what is needed for a baby to thrive, and a baby needs his mother. There's no way around that. And the more people understand this, the better humanity will thrive, and the less crazy drugs we will need in the future. Because this is part of the mass collapse in mental health. I'm not saying that is the only reason, but it's a fundamental reason of that mass collapse in mental health. And we need to be clear about that, and we need to do something about this. And let's say that the way around it is men expanding their understanding how to make more money, how to choose a good woman, which is important, and how to be very clear about what both want from life before getting married, of course. That is also non-negotiable. So, again, I would love to know what do you think about this in the comments. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the battle language guy. Much love and bliss. Jesus, unfortunately, that has not been taught or part of the American culture since the Vietnam War. Feminism has created this tragedy. Yeah, this is the thing that I tell people. I could think 30 years ago, that was easier for a man to be able to provide for the whole family. But right now, there's so many ways to do things online. You could be breastfeeding. You could be breastfeeding and learning things on YouTube. Learn and something on YouTube. Something that you can do. Yeah, it is going to be hard, but nobody's saying that a mother should be with a baby. And a mother also we want smart women, because smart women raise smart sons and daughters. It's that simple. I don't know how this is so hard to understand. And then people say, oh, you're saying you are misogynistic because you're saying that women should be chained to the. Why would I say chain? Motherhood is one of the most beautiful, you could say most beautiful, more important, critical, should be celebrated in every single way. And that has been destroyed, has been devalued, has been said that no, I'm not gonna do it for I want to live my life free. And again, you will have the right to say that. Nobody can force you to be a mother. But if you decide to be a mother, you need to understand the responsibilities of being a mother. The same that a man who marries a woman and has a kid, he has to know the responsibilities that he has as a man. If both the man and a woman understand the proper responsibilities that, again, are not easy in each case. I am not saying this is easy for each one, but if both of them understand, we're going to be talking about a family that's going to be so awesome in so many ways. But I needed to get that out of my chest. I really needed to address that topic. Men provide, women make him sandwiches. You are understanding. And then our women can buy, the shoes they want, the purses they want. We can go on vacation, whatever we want. But again, the man has to provide. Men should not lay down with women whose future children they cannot afford. Yeah, this is something that it's like... sadly, I've said this. I have been way more blunt about this sometimes. I have literally said, if you're broke, do not have kids. Counterintuitively, there are many people who say that you'll figure out. The problem is that in the current society, figuring out means that you're going to put your baby in a public daycare or something like that. And then the man and the woman will have to work to get things sorted out. That doesn't work. And again, that is the thing that I think that men should feel like the moment that a man enters his 20s, he's got to have a sense of urgency. He has to build himself. Has to build himself in a way that, okay, where am I? What are my skills? What can I do? How can I be useful for the market? What does the market want? And I can provide for the market at scale. What skills can I develop? What can I do? These are the questions that we should be asking. And of course, this also comes with a sense of honor. Honor from the man who has to honor the marriage, and honor from the woman who has to honor the marriage, and both have to honor parenthood. It's like a triangle between them and the baby. It sounds like, I don't know, fantasy, something like right out of a fantasy novel, but it is impressive the way that we have lost that. And this has been since decades ago. As I'm telling you, I was born in the 70s, and I was born into that nonsense, into that programming. And it was a lot of pain, too much pain because of that. And way too many regrets because of that. But I wanted to talk about that. Let me see if there are any new breaking stuff or something. Blah 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 blah. Okay. This and this is gonna save for later. And I think that we're done for today. We're gonna make sure to catch this videos, these topics on my main channels. Hey, you just joined. Why are you just joining now, Quadrex? Why are you just joining now? And I got also a super sticker from Lee of Monaco. Thank you, Lee, for your super sticker, and J.E. May's super chat as well. So, my body language buddies, my name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy. Remember that these shows are always every day at 12 at noon EST, and they run for around 2 hours. Today was a nice show. I had a lot of fun today talking about music. It's something that I'm very passionate about. And what else? Oh yeah, I will try to remind to upload this to Spotify and my podcasting platforms. Remember to follow me on all my channels. Remember the most important words: much love and bliss. Take care. Be safe. I love every single one of you. Bye bye.